Hi everyone, welcome again to another video of Straight Up Love. My name is Daivon.
And my name's Ebonie.
And today we're going to talk about how important it is for your friends to get along with your spouse. So that's going to be the topic of this video. So if you want to go ahead and get it started.
But how important is it for your friends to get along with your spouse? How important is it, babe?
I think it's very important, when I think about it, because I guess if I think about early on in a relationship, how I remember just the time me introducing you to my friends. I kind of wanted you probably thinking this in your own head, but I'm like, I hope everything goes, well. I hope they like her. I hope she likes them. It's kind of, you want everything to go smoothly. So in future events, you already know it's going to be a good time. You already know everyone's on good grounds, and it's going to be nothing but fun. So I think it's very important. What about how you feel, Ebonie? What you feel about that?
I think that I always valued it. It was always very important to me whether, a potential partner got along with my friends.
Yeah.
I've had friends,
Talk about it.
Since I was in elementary school. And so it's very hard, friends that are almost like sisters, are our sisters, basically. So it's like, if my friends don't like you, I don't know if this is going to work. I don't know if it's going to work. These people have been with me for now more than half of my life. And then, but it's just like, if they don't like you, then I almost feel like something's
wrong with that person.
Wrong. But,
okay.
Because I can't think of, my friends, there's not somebody that they're with now, where I see longevity happening. They haven't had somebody that I don't like. It's hard for me not to like somebody. It's hard I feel like for most of my friends not to like somebody. So if they don't like you,
there might be something about that person. Are you saying? Okay. Yeah, I understand that. I feel the same way too, especially if I'm bringing someone that I enjoy company with. I'm hoping that they're gonna feel the same way, but it may be something that I'm not seeing that only your friends can see outside looking in. So sometimes you need that perspective of your friends to tell you, okay, you know what, I ain't really feeling this person, and I can definitely, that can help you in the long run. You know what I mean? That can, if that's the case, then you being not with that person, was probably the best thing, because you can be blinded sometimes. So it takes your friends, basically what I'm saying, to give you that honest perspective of how they feel about that person. Luckily, I don't think any of our friends feel like that.
Yeah, I don't think any of our friends don't like the opposite person.
Yeah, they would have. Yeah,
they would have said something. But what I want to be clear about is that we're not saying that friends should have the ultimate say go in your relationship with somebody. Because sometimes as individuals, you've been that person where I get in an argument with my partner, and then I go tell my friend, and I only tell my friend the negative interactions I have with my partner, and then my friend all of a sudden doesn't like my partner. That's a real thing that happens. I don't think that in that sense, you should just be I'm just gonna leave my partner and find somebody else. But I think that people should be conscious of giving your friends a balanced view of your partner. So right. You should be able to take your partner out on outings with your friends, and your friends can see your partner in a environment like dinner or a party or whatever, so that when you do call them other times when you and your partner are not getting along, you're having an argument, they know the character of your partner. They're like, well, I don't think, because there's been times where I call my girl, because I have my best friend, my best friend Jasmine. I have called her many times where me and Daivon, I don't know if you know this, but I call her time when me and you might be getting an argument about something, and I'm like, I tell her the situation, I'm like, girl, am I tripping? And half the time she'll be like, girl, you're tripping. Yeah. You're tripping. You need to go apologize. Or you were wrong. Or da-da-da-da. That's because I've introduced her to Daivon. We all hang out all the time. And she knows his character.
And Jasmine's someone I know just as long as Ebonie. So just so you know.
Not just as long. But
yeah, I'm saying like around the same time. No, I'm saying okay. I knew you and Jasmine around the same time, like middle school. Okay. So I'm trying to say not that you've known her. I should have phrased that differently, but I've known Ebonie just as long as I've known Jasmine. Is what I'm trying to say. Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Yeah.
So that was good to hear. Yeah, I remember you telling me stuff like that. Yeah.
Yeah, but what would you? I mean, what's the first time where you introduced? Do you remember the first time you introduced me to your friends?
The first time, I think, I would say maybe with Everett. When was the first time? Was it that first time when?
Well, we can talk about that time with Everett because I remember being nervous about that.
You was nervous about meeting Everett?
Because I remember okay, so I knew Aaron.
Because you knew Aaron, so it's not something I could say. You knew David. Yeah. It'd be a lot of the people I met in Norfolk. So I think Everett was one of that prime person that, I'm really good friends with. I built this relationship with him through the military and outside. So that's just a different relationship to have. But I didn't know you felt like that, but I understand. I understand. But that was probably... I can't remember. Well, was it for my birthday?
It was when we went to that little club place.
That's for my birthday?
Came. I think it might have been for you because y'all birthdays are close. So
yeah.
But so we went to go meet Everett, and Everett is married. Everett and Daisy. And I was nervous about that because we weren't married at the time. Like, they were married, and I'm like, oh my goodness, he's taking me to meet like his married friend and his wife, and what if they don't like me? Like, I'm very for me, I'm not always the person that's like, oh, I want to go meet new people, because I usually don't. Because like I said, I've had some friends since I was in elementary school. I've had some friends, since I was in college, which has been like a good amount of years now. Not to age us, but I feel very comfortable with my group of friends, and it's always hard for me to, go into a new situation and try to make friends with new people. I'm so comfortable with my group of friends. So when I have to meet somebody new, I get really nervous. I'm like, are they gonna like me? Like, I'm gonna try to be really nice. Like, I get really smiley because I'm nervous. So it was very nerve-wracking for me to meet them, but luckily we hit it off, and everything
worked out.
Is good, and we both have kids. We both have kids now, and we hang out together, and the kids hang out together. But it was very nerve-wracking to me.
Yeah, imagine if there wasn't a case where y'all didn't click. Yeah, we probably wouldn't have been close with them. Us inviting them to our home, and likewise. So yeah, that would have been a different story. So yeah. You never know what that could come, in the future. You never know what might happen. So thankfully it all worked out. Thankfully. Was there a time, I guess, you didn't feel any of your friend's boyfriend or girlfriend? Did you have a time where you didn't have that good relationship with them?
I mean, I think it's that situation that I was talking about earlier about your friends making sure they present the entire character of their partner. So a lot of times with my friends, I just don't have the same opportunities to spend time with their partners. I've made those opportunities for you to spend time with them. That's for various reasons. Their partners not living in the area. It's just for various reasons. It's just not their style. So when they come to me and they are telling me about these not so positive situations about them and their partner, I would say, it does kind of make me not like their partner a little bit. And I'm just cause I don't like what I'm hearing. I don't like the way my friends are being treated, because like I said, they're my sisters and I love them. So I would say that it's what I try to do is like I said, keep in mind that I'm only getting one perspective, and as long as my you always try as a friend to give the best advice you can, and you try to but still not be imposing on your friend. You can't tell your friend, well, nah girl, you shouldn't be with him, because ultimately especially since I don't get to see the character of the person, the only person who knows their character is you as my friend. So I try to give the best advice I can give, but ultimately I have to learn to lay off a bit,
step back, right?
Step back and just try to be a good friend, as good as a friend as I could.
Because you don't want to be too involved, right, in their relationship, because that can hurt your relationship with your friends. So it's kind of, by, I think, being the best friend you can is give them that space, but also being there to support them like you've been doing. So, yeah, I think that's very important, and you don't want to be too involved.
Right. And, like, don't get me wrong, there's been time where they be like, called, like, oh, girl, me and so-so just broke up. I'm like, woo, girl. Thank Lord.
Yeah. And, like, we'll have conversations, so we know what our, our intentions are with that person, so... But it's always, I understand that. We had those times. Because they have, you want them to be with the best person they can be, and that person just seems like they're not. So when they finally move on, it's a breath, fresh air, ultimately, right? So, there's always going to, they're going to find that person. So it's going to take time, but at least they're over this past chapter.
Yeah. So what would you have done if your friends didn't like me?
What had I done?
So what did Aaron say when you told him that, like, we were gonna go on a date or anything? Because he knew both
you.
of us. He knew me.
What do you think? I think he was more chill. Like, oh, cool. Like, he was being supportive. Like, he wasn't like, I didn't see some type like, oh, you going to see Evan? I didn't have that type of I didn't have that type of conversation with him. It was all love. He was like, oh, great. Ebony's a great woman. It was that type of time. Like, he was cool with you. He knows you're a great woman just from his own perspective. So I think he loved that, our relationship, or he loved our potential, I'm sure, relationship. So yeah, I think he accepted that. As you can see now, sometimes y'all text, I think, independently. So, that just shows right there. Yeah, definitely shows right there. So what would you have done
if they didn't like me?
I would have been like, okay, dang, I gotta think about her, because if they saying that, it's my boys, like, they ain't gonna tell me nothing wrong. I think guys are more, I guess I can only speak for myself. I'm gonna be more laid back. Like, if I truly didn't like somebody, then I'm gonna tell my friend. And if I feel like I'm kind of against, I guess the fence, I'll let them know. But, I think, ultimately, I think that if they didn't like you, I probably really have to dig, I had to rethink our relationship, because I know they all have good intentions, right? Especially coming from Aaron, who's my main man. So I would know, and he has a good heart too. So if he found something in you that he thought just wasn't right, I had to, that's something that I had to, just kind of look into, I guess, and see, kind of pick his brain. Like, why do you think that? Like, what's some qualities that you see in her that you just don't like? And then I kind of would have took that, and I would have took his perspective of you very seriously, is basically what I'm saying. Yeah. So.
And again, probably I would say the same thing. I've been saying again and again, I know my friends for years and years and years. And you have to know your friend to know, there might be some friends you'd be like, oh, I don't know if I always trust her opinion. That may be your going party friend.
Yeah. Okay.
But, there are certain friends, you trust their opinion, you trust their judgment. So you're like, okay, well, if you're saying something that I might have to take a look at this, and if they sincerely we're like, oh girl, we don't know about him, because they have said that about some people that I dated, I was involved with. They're like, girl, we don't like him.
Because I was gonna ask you, if it was the same question that you gave me, if your friends didn't like me, what would your perspective be? Like, would we still be in a relationship, or I'm sure you take it very seriously, but what would be going through your head if your friend was like, oh, he's cool, but...
Well, I always ask questions, so I'll be like, well, what did you not like about him? Or, what did he do? Was there something that happened?
Right.
You don't even have to ask. I usually just tell you, well, girl, I thought this and this, or I don't know this and this, because my friends are observant. So, yeah, I think I would just, have to take into account what they said and be like, maybe, and then observe you from there. I'm not saying it would have been the end all be all, but it would have definitely weighed into it. So
definitely take what they're saying very seriously, basically. So we're not gonna that's not gonna go over. We're not gonna just brush it off. That's something we're gonna really think hard about. So that sounds like that's what you're coming from, and so for me too. So. We have good friends, so if they say something like that, we know it's something and they're friends that we've known for a long time, or the friends that we met just for a short period of time. We kind of been through a lot in that short period of time, so we take those, their perspective very seriously.
So what would you do if me and your friend didn't get along? How will we conflict resolve? How will we problem solve that if I'm afraid to get along?
Yeah, I would probably step in like, okay, like what's going on between y'all two? Why y'all not getting along? It's something, I'm just gonna bring out to the front. Like, what's going on? Like, what can we do to solve it? Because, I got to figure out what's the root of the issue that we're having. Kind of figure it out. Just nip it in the butt and see what's going on. That's how I would have try to come with a solution. If nothing would have came out of it, then we just have to see what we're gonna do from this day forward. But what about you?
I mean, I think if the issue were to arise now, like I definitely would have to, like you said, we would try to conflict resolve, like what's going on, like try to get y'all in a room together to talk, try to figure out what the issue, really the problem is, and then to solve it. But like it's hard because you have a friend that you have been friends with for years and years and years, but like ultimately, like you're my partner and you're my spouse, so I can't, like, I'm not about to.
Oh, that's different now.
I'm not about to drive my husband because
if it was something dating wise, that's if we was girlfriend boyfriend, then that's different. But at this point, I think we already solidified the perspective we have of our friends with each other or how they feel about us. So, that's just something we just gonna have to figure out. Like, we married at this time, we known each other for so and so years. We just gonna figure out what the solution is or figure out what the problem is and try to find a solution. So that's just I think those are two different conversations between when you're married and when you're like dating or girlfriend, boyfriend. Those are two, I think, separate kind of levels of conversations, I guess. Seriousness, I guess I would say. But
I would say, like, for me, like as a friend who, like, there have been times where I potentially didn't get along with like somebody else's partner. I would say that, like, even if I don't like them, like for the sake of my friend, like until they decide that they no longer want to be with them, I just kind of like compartmentalize. Like, this is my friend, that's their partner. I don't have to like necessarily spend time with the partner, but I can spend time with my friend still and not make them feel bad about their partner, until they decide that they don't want to be with them anymore, if they decide that. Right. So I think like as a friend, like you shouldn't be dropping your friends because you don't get along with their partner. Like, you vocalize like what the problems are and what what caused it. But other than that, like if it's a really good friend, then you kind of just have to let it rock until they decide.
Yeah. Right. So I think that's just our perspective of the importance of friendships, I guess, between our friends and our relationships. So I think that's all we got, right? You got anything else you want to say?
So follow us on @straightuplove_ and subscribe to our channel.
Yes, thank you again for joining us, and we'll see you next time. Bye.